asked Al if he wanted to take a few calls, and we're going to Bob Chapman, and he said, I love talking to knuckleheads. And, of course, if you want to visit the websites, it's facebook.com/ministry or 13thplanetrecords.com. And, of course, it's Al Jourgensen from his compound. He described it as his Waco compound, minus all the strangeness out in El Paso, Texas. I said, well, yeah, it's strangely beautiful in an ugly way. And he said, yeah, it's beautifully creepy. El Paso, it conjures weird feelings when you're there. So do places like Boquillas and Big Bend. I mean, it's like right out of a Western, but with all the craziness on top of it. Bob Chapman waiting in the wings, but we have a bunch of calls. I said, do you want to take calls? He said, I love talking to knuckleheads. I said, really? He said, yeah, let's talk to the knuckleheads. And so let's talk to Jay in Illinois. Quick question or comment, because we got to go here in a minute. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, thanks a lot for having. Hey, how's it going, Al? Thanks a lot for having him on today.
It's my home state, you know.
Oh, I've been a huge fan for a long time. I just got a quick question. What's in the works for ministry? And if you don't have anything coming up, I think maybe you should start your own radio show, because this interview is just rocking, man.
Well, I quit ministry and recording and all that stuff last year because I was throwing up blood. And then I went to the hospital. Same day as Brett Michaels had his brain aneurysm, I was getting defibrillated in some hospital room because I wound up there dead. And it turned out I had 13 ulcers, and that explains why the last 3 tours I've been puking up blood. And that's why I said I was going to stop recording and all that, because I just wasn't healthy enough to do it. But now, after about a year later, I've been working out. I quit smoking, quit drinking. I quit drugs 10 years ago. And so it looks like I'm all ready to go. My doctor gave me the go-ahead, so never say never.
Oh,
take it easy.
Is that breaking news here? The return of ministry.
That's breaking news, but I don't know if it's the return of ministry. We'll see. I'm just saying that my doctor gave me a clearance that, I'm full go for all things apocalyptic and less.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to Joe in Louisiana. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Al, long-time fan here in New Orleans, man. I saw y'all last time when y'all came down here. You put on a great show. I wanted to have one question. Yeah, you mentioned David Icke, and I've been reading him for a while, and I listen to Alex Jones. One thing I can't seem to understand is they keep on saying that all these Obama administration people are into Zionist Jews, Zionism. I can't find anything where Alan Greenspan and Rahm Emanuel and all these fellows are admitting that they are Zionists. Is this a secret? I mean, how are these being connected? Can y'all help me out with this?
Well, how do they mix? Just listen. There's the old, 3 words. Follow the money. Follow the money. All right? And where's our money coming from? Why don't we crack down on Saudi Arabia for their human rights practices? Follow the money. Why don't we crack down on Israel for their completely insubordinate stance on having a people have the right to self-govern? Follow the money.
Well, my issue is throughout history, every government is corrupt and out of control, and if the people don't get angry and focused...
But government's on control. It's the overlords that are out of control.
No, I hear you.
Governments are just the mouthpieces. So, yeah, great. Okay, good. So the government sides with Israel. Why? Because we have vested interest in that. Not just the government. It's the overlord.
Yeah. Joe, thank you so much for the call. 2 quick ones, and we're going to let Al get out of here. And I look forward to him coming. He says he'd love to come in studio, so we look forward to it. Dan in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Alex. Hey, thanks a lot for having me. Al, you had mentioned, what a farce gold and silver is. Well, I guess I could see that, in a totally wiped out, post-apocalyptic world, where nothing is left. There's no economic system to speak of. But I'm a disabled veteran, and when I got hip to this through Alex's show about a year and a half ago, the real state of the economy, what's really going on, who the money masters are. I started buying gold and silver, or actually just silver, and because if they decide to just wave their magic wand on August 2nd or something and make all the disabled vets and whoever the hell else is dependent on them, if they decide to wave their magic wand and make us all homeless and hungry, I've got a 3-month supply of food, and I got several $1,000s worth of silver that I've accumulated in the last.
Well, let me ask you, if you bought silver a year and a half ago, that was at about 25 or 20. Now it's at 42 right now.
Great, that's right.
But my whole deal is, I mean, look, I understand if it is going to be total Armageddon, gold and silver aren't going to matter, and the Bible says they'll throw their, jewels out in the street and beat themselves on the head and try to hide under rocks. My whole issue is I've got faith. I don't think that's the case. Gold and silver aren't perfect, but compared to fiat currencies run by the criminal bankers, it's as good as gold, and it's been great advice, and I stand by it. Now, as for going after Glenn Beck, I actually looked at that with Congressman Weiner. I mean, this is the guy that basically exaggerated and made stuff up about Beck. Some of the deals
and his penis size.
Okay, well, I mean, listen, the issue here is I looked at those gold line deals, and yeah, Midas is a lot better, the sponsor I've got, and but a lot of what Weiner said, it turned out wasn't true. And so I just think this demonization of gold is because they want to keep you in paper. And Al, all I'm saying is you ought to rethink that, because look, when I started plugging gold, it was 300. Now it's 1,620 something. I think that's pretty good advice. I mean, it's
okay. So you're at a Walmart, post-apocalyptic, and there's riots in the parking lot trying to loot it, and there's the National Guard guarding a Walmart, and you're in there with your one gold coin to buy some canned foods. Do you really think that's going to work? I mean, is this really the solution?
I don't think it's going to the total apocalypse situation, but yes, in a depression, just like my grandfathers, here in Texas, their dads, well, it was actually my grandmother's dad, and then on the other side. Well, the point is, they didn't turn their gold in when Roosevelt said turn it in for paper.
And that's smart. And you know what else to do? It's smart that you invested in silver and gold, my disabled friend or my war veteran friend. But sell it now and buy batteries, guns, food, and anything else you can if you want to survive in that world, because gold is not going to mean a squatoosh. Okay?
Al, I actually agree with you.
Neither are banks.
Al?
Neither are anything. You're on your own. Okay?
Al?
So while it's high, I would sell at this record high price today. I would sell and buy supply. Okay?
Yeah, Al, I agree with you that first you need water, food, guns, a redoubt, friends. That comes first. But then gold and silver, because I don't believe there's going to be a total, complete collapse.
Who's going to take it? Who's going to take it? And if they know you have gold, who's going to come to your house and take that gold?
Well, number one, my gold isn't at my house.
Well, you understand what I'm saying. If it's in the bank, that's even worse, because they're all going to be shut down. Might as well just keep it at your house.
Well, I don't even have that much to begin with, but the point is, I mainly got silver, and boy, has that done well, let me tell you. 8 times what it was, 9 times? The gold's only 4.5.
What's that going to do with the entire...
Because I don't believe it's going to collapse into total Armageddon.
The monetary system fails. When the monetary system fails, then what do you do?
All right,
you're stuck with all gold and silver. What are you going to make? Teeth?
When the monetary system fails, Al, in the Depression and every other case, the Romans, 1,800 years ago, nearing... in one of their collapses, the people that did have the old currency, they became the new wealth. I mean, we've got history.
That's great, except that I don't think that there's going to be a new currency, same as the old new currency. That's my premise, okay? Wrong or right. You may be right, I may be wrong. But I'm just saying that I don't think that the new monetary system is going to be the same as the old. Therefore, gold and silver is a scam as much as the money markets, the dollars, or anything else.
But they're industrial metals. Copper's going up. Everything is going up because the value of the dollar is going down, Al. That's what we're saying. It's not that you have the gold, and then people say, well, what do you do with it later? You cash it in for whatever the new digital currency is.
Where are you going to cash it in? There's going to be no banks. So where do you cast it in?
The globalist. There's going to be implosions.
The globalist. Who's the globalist?
There's going to be implosions for the globalists, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Queen of England, the Dutch Queen.
Oh, God. Please.
No, that's who owns the Federal Reserve. I mean,
like I said, I agree with about 75% of you, Alex. I really do. I really like your show. But this one, I got to put my foot down. I really don't think there's going to be a monetary system very soon. And that includes gold and silver.
So you believe total, absolute collapse.
People are making money hand over fist right now on that. And look at the price of gold. What is it, $1,700 today? I mean, really? Really? And what's that going to do for you in a Walmart to try and get food? What's that going to do for you?
Al. We predicted it all. We're right. We're not bad because we were right. They're devaluing the currency, Al.
Well, currency is nothing. Currency is nothing. We all know that. And gold and silver, yeah, are a safe bet now. But what I'm saying is that's not going to be a safe bet in the future. And while it's at record highs, it might be time to sell and buy your supplies to live. That's all I'm saying.
No, listen, I hope there's not a total collapse. Al, it's been amazing and really interesting, and big fan of your complex music. We really appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to having you back on to have these interesting discussions in the future.
Man, I would even buy gold for that.
Let me say bye to you during the break. Bob Chapman's coming up, and I do look forward to you coming to Austin and seeing you. Again, the founder of Ministry, our guest. You can go to the websites, facebook.com/ministry or 13thplanetrecords.com. Al Jourgensen has been our guest. Bob Chapman coming up. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?